Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am just going to do a WIP and chat. I am currently working on Viola, which is a Curtis Reikovich painting from Dreamer Designs. I'll leave a link in the description below. I absolutely love Dreamer Designs, but most importantly, I love this artist. So most of the time I am buying paintings from them just for his work. I think I bought like one that wasn't, but I truly think they're like a underrated company, or they just don't get enough attention. Today I am using also two pens. This one is from Shimmering Canvases. I just got it. I was going to do a haul, but I don't know, I was too impatient and I had to open it, so here it is. It's actually really pretty. I love the chunky holographic glitter, the colors and everything. And then of course I love the shape they did on it. My only thing is I wish the rhinestones were actually like in the resin and not loose, because when I was holding it this way I kept scraping against the rhinestones, and not only is it just uncomfortable, but I'm going to totally pop these off. And then, so I moved it to this side so I don't rub against them as much, but it's a gorgeous pen. So I might take some resin and cover it up myself. I cast and turn diamond painting pens as well. I saw them on my store, but they are not as beautiful and as elaborate as this one. However, I hope that one day I can learn to be awesome and as talented and create a pour like this. So like I have this one here that I also am using for this painting. I made this one myself. This shape is really easy for me to pull off. It's rather simple on the lathe. It's kind of like what I call the standard vanilla shape, but it's really just whoop. But I really want to start getting into more of like these intricate styles. So yeah, I want to practice more on the lathe. And then of course I want to be able to get my resin pouring to do something like that. Resin is a whole different art form within itself. It's not super easy to do. I mean, there's like a chemical reaction, the timing of when you pour it, and then if your resin is at all soft, you will find out the hard way, meaning when you go to turn it on the lathe, it'll bend under the heat and fly off and go across your workshop. So I don't recommend that if you're a newbie. But I had a set that didn't cure properly. They felt cured when I had pulled them out of their blanks and the silicone molds, you know. But it was when I started to turn them, and I was going from, because they come out as basically squares, and I was turning them to get them just rounded so I could start doing more intricate work. And that's when I first started noticing, like the first one was bending, and I was like, oh shoot. And it wasn't even that hot, and it wasn't spinning that fast. But yeah, and I do use the negative tools. You have to when you're working with acrylics, so you don't use your traditional woodworking tools on the lathe. But yeah, it right before my eyes like bent and then flipped and flew off the lathe and shot across my workshop. I mean, it probably would have hurt had it hit me. But I mean, I always wear goggles and gloves when I'm working with a lathe. Definitely goggles, because acrylic or resin, when you are turning it on a lathe, it's like coconut flakes as it just goes everywhere. It's quite messy. I keep forgetting I need to go out there and clean up my lathe because it's covered in a coat of just resin flakes from when I did the last limited box and I turned a bunch of pens. But yeah, I want to get into more custom ones and start selling those on my Etsy. speaking of my Etsy, I am working on the limited box this week. So I was getting really bummed out because I had already planned the theme, and I had planned it around a concept of a scent that I wanted to make, but I had not yet tried to make the scent. So that was just my fault, poor planning all around. But I wanted to do snickerdoodle because snickerdoodles are just such a fall cookie, you know, with the cinnamon, brown sugar, buttery goodness. So yeah, I really wanted to do snickerdoodle. And so I planned like the color scheme and everything around snickerdoodle. And then when I went to work on making this scent, I just could not get it to work at all. It was either just smelled like straight butter and no sugar. Oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. So I ordered some different oils and kind of played around and mixed and matched. And finally got it to work. And it was like a big sigh of relief because I was actually starting to panic because here we are nearing the end of the month, and by now I normally have already made all the wax and putty for the box, and I haven't yet, so it's gonna be a very busy weekend making all those. The pens are done, and the trays are done, thanks to LEP, who always delivers on time. Try to remember to link to her below. But yeah, I was way behind on everything else, so I'll be working on that this weekend. But the box will come out November 1st, the first of the month, like it always does. I am going to put a link in the description below to my YouTube channel that is for my actual Etsy store. Now, I do a lot of updates on this channel for this stuff that has to do with diamond painting. But my Etsy store, I sell wax melts as well, and so I don't want to put that on this channel. And I do a lot, like I'm trying to do more. I shouldn't say I do a lot because I have done like, what, 3? But mostly I'll be doing shorts on that channel, kind of showing products and even some behind the scenes. So you'll want to subscribe, and then also I'll be unlocking special discounts for like wax melts and products from my store on that Etsy, or on that YouTube for my Etsy. Well, there we go. So yeah, how is life around here? I haven't done a lot of WIP and chats on this channel, but I meant to, just because I think it's a good way to keep myself company while working on these canvases. And then a way to connect with all of you who watch. But yeah, I think the last time I did a WIP and chat was quite a while ago. But you will be seeing them more regularly now because I quit my full-time job. There's such a long story behind that, and I just don't feel like getting into it. But let's just say it was a very toxic work environment, and I had finally had enough, and it was either choosing a paycheck or sanity, and I chose sanity. And I've decided to just kind of put all my efforts right now into my Etsy store and work on just more content with my YouTube. But yeah, I'm putting all my effort into my Etsy store, trying to make that my new full-time thing. I actually find it really fun to make the products, and it's like incredibly relaxing to sit there and knead and create the putty. And I always joke with my husband, I'm like, see, I'm doing my arm workout today. I do make my putty from scratch using my own recipe. For those of you who don't know me from my adult coloring channel, I used to be a pastry chef, and I did wedding cakes, and I dealt with fondant and all that, and used to make my own fondant. So really, making diamond painting wax was not a huge leap, believe it or not. Not wax, putty. Although the wax wasn't too far off either, but yeah, it was just a matter of figuring out the right ingredients. The ratios were definitely the first challenge. I would get the consistency right, but then the second I added like scents to it, the consistency wouldn't work out. And so it took a while. So like if you ever see an unscented version in the shop, that's actually a different formula. However, it'll perform the same as the scented ones, but it's a different formula, because if I use the formula I did for the scented ones, then you would have really sticky putty. But yeah, it was quite the adventure, but it was fun. It was like I was a mad scientist just creating something. So I enjoyed it. I do enjoy it. And I've been making more putty, because I used to just make, honestly, like a couple scents, and I would only make like 2 or 4 of each kind. And now I'm making like, you know, anywhere from 6 to 8 cents at a time, and then I'm making huge batches of them. But like I said, I quit my full-time job and I'm putting it all into that, so it would only make sense that I sit there and spend all my time making huge batches, right? But for you guys, that means fewer times things will be sold out. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I am at with that right now. My son, my oldest son, has been home since the end of September. He was injured pretty badly in soccer on September 30th. I remember it because I've had to write it on a million documents. But he had a pretty bad soccer injury. No broken bones, although that would have been easier, I think. But he suffered a concussion and TBI. Now, concussions are TBIs. However, when I say he has a concussion and TBI, it's because he literally has also a traumatic brain injury aside from the concussion. So he has a concussion, but he ended up with contusions on both sides of his brain because of the hit he took to his head. I mean, like no words. Even like the coach still to this day, and we're like a month past it now, is like, I still can't believe that hit. I've never seen someone take a hit like that. And I mean, parents are constantly messaging us, checking on him. They're like, he's still okay, right? Like, because that hit was so bad. But yeah, basically he just took a ball to the face, but due to the momentum of him running and the goalie running at the ball, and then the goalie kicking the ball, and the speed in which it hit his face, it actually hit him like in between the eyes, and then it hit him with such force that his head whipped back, so he got whiplash. And if anyone's ever been in a car accident, you know how awful whiplash is. But the first contusion was to the front of the brain where the ball hit. And then the second was from the impact of his head whipping backward so harshly that it bruised the back of his brain. And that injury was actually worse than the hit to the front of the head. But because of that, his concussion treatment was a lot different. But the good news is like we had to wait till he was symptom-free for an entire week. And it was frustrating for everyone because he'd have a good day and we're like, all right, we're on the right path. And then he'd go backwards. But we just got him cleared to go back to school on Monday. Only half day, though. They're going to see if he can handle that. And then if he does fine, he can go back full-time after a week of trying half day. And then he was cleared to go back to soccer, but it's like they call it this return to play protocol. So it's very slow moving. Like he's only allowed to do a half practice and then can't have any symptoms. If he handles a half practice without symptoms, he can do a full practice, but no physical contact, no head butting of the ball. Like, there's a ton of restrictions on it. And then, you know, if he goes 24 hours without symptoms from that, you know, you get the gist. It basically, he has to keep going through all these stages, have no symptoms, and then they add more and more. And then if he gets through all of that symptom-free, we go to the doctor and then we get the final clearance so that he can just go back to games. So he'll get to go back to practice next week with the team, but he won't be in games probably right away for a while, which sucks. He missed most of the fall season, which is the season that matters. So he was really upset about that. In fact, last night he went to their last game just to watch, and they did a team photo after, and they did a serious photo, and then they did a funny photo. They had all the boys, oops, I got that one stuck there, all the boys kneeling in front of the net, and then they like gently tossed a ball, and then they had all the boys pretend they were protecting his head from the ball. I'm gonna frame it. It's actually so funny. But yeah, I mean, it's been a bummer because he's just going stir crazy. I'm going stir crazy with him here. He needs to go back to school and back to sports, but yeah, we're dealing with that. It's been a crazy month. I mean, the quitting of my job was just nuts. I mean, I just kind of pictured myself in that job forever. Not that I was happy, but I just kind of figured, well, this is life, right? This is what it means to be an adult. You're in a job, you have to pay your bills, so you got to stick with it, whether you like it or not. And that's kind of what I just told myself. But, you know, as time went on and just kept getting more and more stressed, I was like, it's just not worth it. Like, I never took a sick day. If I was sick, I would just work from bed. I have not been on a vacation in 10 years, 11 years. My kids haven't gone on vacations. You know, I was the director of operations. I was basically running a company day to day. And yeah, I just finally had to leave. And I actually had put in a 4-week notice, but the way I was being treated afterwards, I just finally was like, you know, I don't deserve to be treated like this. I've worked there for almost 12 years. And so I just said, I'm done. Good luck, and left, which I hate doing because I like to be the dependable person, but for my mental health, it was just the right move to make. And yeah, but now I'm kind of like in limbo. I don't know what I want to do. So I told my husband, I was like, I want to focus on my Etsy store and see where this can go, because each month I'm getting more sales, and it's growing. And then there's been some awesome people in the community, diamond painting community, as well as the adult coloring community, who have been really extra supportive of my Etsy store. Like the second it opened, they went and bought products, and it was just so touching. Like, you know, they were helping me out, and then I've met a few people in the diamond painting community just from them purchasing my products at random, and I just happened to stumble across their video and they were using it or unboxing it, and I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? Thanks for showing it, you know, like, in fact, I met Hannah over at the Sparkling Spectrumite, and she is super sweet. But she had purchased my September limited edition box, and yeah, she was unboxing it on camera, and I was just so touched by all the sweet things she was saying. And so that's how I met her. And, you know, a big thank you to her because she's been really awesome about showing my products to her subscribers and at her own expense. So I was just really touched, and it's helped my business a lot as well. So I just very appreciative, but I'm definitely going to focus on my Etsy and see where it goes. I had been asked if I would do like an Advent style calendar for diamond painting this year. I just don't think I can pull it off with the limited edition boxes because in December we'll actually have 50 boxes released that month. Like with my limited edition boxes, I usually do, when I first did them, I did like 15, and then I slowly bumped up, and lately we've been doing 30. Like this November, it'll be a 30 count. Where is this J at? However, December will be 50, and that is simply because in case someone wants to buy an extra one for a family member or friend, they can, but also quite a few people aren't able to snag them in time because they do sell out before the week is up. Like I list them on the 1st, and they're usually gone by the 4th or 5th. And even when I had increased to 30, they still sell out. So I thought it'd be fun for Christmas to have 50. And if 50 goes well, I might just stay at 50. We'll see. Just kind of depends. But as for Advent calendars, I am working on one for wax melts. I am trying to think of a way to pull it off a way I want to pull it off, I should say. So once I figure that out, I may release that. But diamond painting will definitely have to be next year. I just don't think I would only be able to, do limited quantities, of course, but I am just so busy and trying to get into the groove now of doing this as a full-time job. I just feel like that might be too much to take on at once. But who knows? If you have any ideas or things you would like to see in a limited, or not limited, but Advent style diamond painting box, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know, if there's maybe something you'd like to see in it. Whether, because there's only so many things you can really put in one, right? I could do smaller waxes, smaller things of putty. I was trying to think of ways to make it work. Cover minders, washi tape. I could do some pens, stickers. I don't know though. It would be too late for me and LEP to work out more trays, I think. So yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to say, but let me know in the comments below if that's something you would like to see and products you think you would like to see in the Advent calendar. Or, that you would be interested in seeing, because maybe that'll help me decide if I'm going to do one or not. Because then I would be like, oh, I can't logistically pull that off yet. But I might actually start printing some trays myself. My husband kind of hinted that he would gladly get me a 3D printer for Christmas. However, I will still be using LEP for my subscription boxes because I want to support another small business owner, and she is awesome and super sweet. She is so cool to collaborate with. I have so much fun. Because I'll bounce ideas off her. I'm like, hey, here's my theme. What do you think we should do? And she's always open to creating a totally different color, one she doesn't carry. She'll even say, hey, find me the color and I'll find the filament for it. So she's an awesome partner. So she'll always be in my limited boxes because she's just been so stellar to work with. But yeah, it's been really fun working with her. It's nice when you find a good little business partnership. Let's see. But yeah, that's really what's been going on around here. I've been keeping busy. My youngest, who is 7, is in gymnastics twice a week. And then my one daughter, who is 11, she's got like the dance bug fever. So she signed up for some more dance classes. So she goes Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, she's taking like, I think it's 4 classes total. She got invited to the higher level ballet class because she's a ballerina. It's adorable. She looks like a ballerina, you know. She just has that ballerina body and everything, skinny, and then she's just so sweet. But she got invited to the higher level comp team, but she's already on the lower level, and they've already started their routine and practices. So she's gonna compete for both, or with both. So she has 2 ballet teams she's on. She also has just recreational ballet she takes kind of just for fun. And also it just gives her extra practice. But then she also decided she wanted to take a hip hop class. It was recommended to her because ballet is very slow and elegant, you know, and it takes time to build up like your muscles and movement. But like one thing she struggles with is staying coordinated and having to move fast. And so the dancing director said, hey, why don't you take a hip hop class? Because they move quick. It's a lot of fun though. So it's not a ton of pressure, and it'll help, you know, her pick up the skill of moving a little bit quicker while still, you know, not looking like a flopping fish or anything. So she opted for the hip hop class. And so yeah, she's in, that's 4 classes, right? Yeah. And luckily they're all the same days. However, they may be moving her up to pre-point. If you're not familiar with ballet, point is when ballerinas wear those actual shoes where they're standing on their toes. Those are point shoes. But you have to go into a class called pre-point before you're invited into the point class. And it basically just strengthens your ankles and legs. Because ballet is, believe it or not, a very hard sport. And ballerinas are freaky strong. Like my son kept sitting there like, they're not strong. And the dancing director finally came out and she's like, I bet you I could do more sit-ups than you right now. But it's true. Ballerinas are super strong, but they're all core muscle. Like think about it. Think how much muscle it takes to stand on your tippy toes, stay straight and not wobble, and lift a leg in the air and hold it. Like that requires so many muscle groups engaged at once. And then they do that and they make it look like it's just like no big thing. They're like, yeah, I'm just standing here on my toes. I mean, they are strong. They have like serious core strength. So yeah, she may be going up to pre-point, which will get her ready for point, and she's like over the moon excited because she wants to be a professional ballerina or become a ballet instructor. She even said like for school she wants to go to a dance school. She doesn't want to go to like college. She wants to go to a dance school for after high school. And I, of course, am like, hey, go for it. I mean, she can become a dance instructor, a professional ballerina, and join a ballet club. So, I mean, I think it's awesome that she's like so hardcore into it that she's even like planned out her post high school, and she's 11. So, I find that kind of funny. But yeah, that's about it that's been going on here. I'm just trying to get the store going a little more. And yeah, just the craziness of my house. But I definitely need to figure out I need to figure out a permanent game plan for my life. I'm just not in the point or at the point where I can think about it. I think my job was so stressful and I just did it for so long that like my brain has finally just crashed, and it's like, no, I'm not ready to go back to work. If that makes any sense. Like, it's literally, it's like my brain is like, no, I need a minute, and then also need to figure out, do I want to go back into the same line of work? You know, I had gotten an offer for a really good, similar work, better pay, but the problem was I sat there thinking, I just don't know if I want to be a director, you know, higher up in the ranks. I just don't know if I want to do that. I enjoy the paycheck, but I don't enjoy the work. So what's the point? Money is not everything. I mean, it definitely pays for everything, but it's not everything. So yeah, I'm gonna call this like my little, you know how students take like a gap year between high school and college. This is gonna be my gap year where I figure out my life. And I'm also turning 40, so I call it my midlife crisis, because I'm pretty sure this would qualify, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Yeah, right now I'm running a YouTube and an Etsy. It just doesn't sound. This doesn't sound like I'm on the, I don't know. I'm on a path to somewhere, but I'm accidentally pressing on my ABs too hard, so they're sticking to my thing here. Gotta be gentle pressure. But I'm trying to finish this canvas before the end of the month, and I have a very long way to go, so I know it's like an absolutely ridiculous goal, but I'm gonna try. I have a few adult coloring pages to finish up and projects, but I really just want to belt out this bad boy and get it done. The hardest part is there's a ton of color blocking, which that part isn't hard, but it's with ABs, and sometimes ABs can be so temperamental. So that's the one problem. I'm like, this whole section is all like color blocking, but they're all ABs. So I'm sitting there like, But, and I don't want to single place them because it's a ton. Like this whole area right here, there's going to be 2 different ABs in here. So that's a lot, like for this one section. But yeah, I'm plowing away. Once I finish this, I'm about a third of the way done. And if I honestly sat here and worked on it every day, which I haven't done this entire month because I've been so, well, 1, I was working a job, but 2, just working on everything else, I would have easily been a lot further along. So I think I might make it. I don't know, but I've set the goal. And it'll be awesome if I meet it. Maybe we'll do like a special celebration if I do make this goal. That'll be kind of fun. But I think this is long enough of me just rambling. Instead of whip and chat, should I just call this whip and ramble? I don't know. Don't know how many will be watching this, but yeah, I just wanted to pop on and kind of give an update, and I will be making more content now because I have the free time. But so keep an eye out for that. I am starting a little series, so hopefully that'll be fun for those who are new to diamond painting. But yeah, I think I'll let you guys go for now, and until next time, take care. Bye now.